huge I am, though.
We're live. You start. Say something. I got.
What do I need to say, Gary? This is all I need to say right here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the one and only Tuesday night ARMTV live call-in show with myself, Uncle John, and the one and only, the maniac, the boxing legend in the arm wrestling community, Gary frickin' Roberts.
What's up, man?
I'm doing so good. Do you know how much madness there was? You know how much madness there was this weekend, and it was all good for me. It was all good. I went live for 3 hours after that Michael Todd Travis Bagent thing. It was glorious.
Was that 3 hours?
It's like 3 hours, or like 2 hours and 45 minutes of live after that. Just doing a therapy session with the entire community, trying to figure out what exactly had just happened. And thank you for coming on during that, by the way.
Yeah, I feel bad. Maybe I was a little too heated.
Well, I can understand. I can understand.
Because I spoke to Michael Todd after that, and I was like totally different. I couldn't, once he said, I thought it was going to be funny. I mean, how could I be mad at that?
Right.
I'm just still annoyed. Like Travis, I clearly was like frustrated about it. Since we were tight, you'd think he would have given me the heads up. The question I want to know is, would I have thought it was going to be funny too? Like, I don't know. Like, if I was in on the joke, would I have said that's a bad idea?
So here's my question for you. Did Travis not tell you because he thought you would spill the beans?
No, he says, I thought you weren't coming. So I didn't make a big deal about it. Cause I said to him, I'm not coming, but I was on the other side. I was trying to figure out a way to come.
Right.
But I wasn't going to tell him I'm coming unless I'd actually changed my plans. But, I said I was going to make a video. I came there. I made the video, and he was who he is. He was like, well, so at that point, I'm not gonna harp on but the interesting thing is that very moment tied everything to me and Barry Bourne.
Right.
Because all I kept thinking of was, well, oh, I can't have that happen to me.
Right. Like, your thing has to go through. We spent the last 2 months talking about this match.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting because, all this, I just came to the realization that like, oh shit, you've gone to now 2 events and the drama the very next day has been tied to yours truly.
Yep.
Like, oops. I mean,
oh, well, let's bring it back a little bit. Let's talk about this whole event in more of a holistic way, because a lot of stuff was going on, right?
Okay. Can I just say one thing? The thing that's been proven is the Travis Bagent, Michael Todd thing, unnecessary. We didn't need it. Me and Barry Bourne, we didn't need it. There. Oh no. Can you hear that?
I just barely.
We didn't need it. There was enough cool stuff going on that we needed none of that.
Sure. But it did cause quite the ruckus in the arm wrestling community at large. For sure. Now, was it bad? Was it good? I don't know if we can tell for like another month.
I mean,
because let's be honest, in 2 weeks, nobody's going to remember it anyways.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad that here, let's bring Merlot in, because this is a little bit different. I kind of feel bad. So someone, okay, here's the thing. There's a chance I'm the asshole here. Maybe
there's a chance.
I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to believe it, but there is a chance I'm the asshole. and I didn't know. I wanted something to happen so bad, and it wasn't apparent to me that everyone, including Barry Bourne, was trying to find ways out of it. So, I mean, I got a lot to so.
Well, before you go into your big soliloquy, let's get on top of the super chats. We do have a couple super chats already. From Agent Ernie, $20 super chat. It says, is the entire ROTN event being released on your channel? If so, is there an ETA to when we get to watch it?
So I've been cutting the. Here's the thing. Everyone was filming, and I know the content's coming out quickly. So I've been trying to spend a little more. It's apparent to me from my older content that I want some longevity to my cut. So I'm trying to put a little bit of effort into it. And so I've now spent.
You better beat Artem. I'm sure he's already got his cut ready to go.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. So tomorrow afternoon, I'll be done with the right hands of the Weirdo Camera Guy event starring Artem right there. So I'm going to try to. I filmed with 3 cameras, so I got a few different angles. So I'm going to try to put some effort into it. I'll do my best. You'll probably see it from other guys sooner. But I feel bad. You're talking about the soliloquy. I feel bad that such cool stuff happened this weekend, unrelated to my personal drama. Yet, because I was upset, what did I do? Partially I released that clip because I talked to Jody Williams.
Yeah.
And I agreed with him. I'm ready to move on, but I'm not going to re-challenge Barry Bourne. I'm probably going to spend less time talking about him, but I still wanted to get out the clip because.
Sure.
So somebody, I think Chance Shaw brought up is like, hey dude, you were like disrespecting the promoters by doing that. And I'm telling you right now, I didn't see any of that. I wasn't thinking about that. I didn't see any of that. All I saw was like a deer in headlights. I'm going to be accused of what Travis was accused of. That's all I could think about. And so I was like, the only way to make sure that I'm not accused of that is to create the biggest scene possible. One, hopefully Barry Bourne. I was thinking to myself, if Barry Bourne throws a punch at me and knocks me out, then fine, we're good. Like I lost, fine. Something happens. Or people would realize, okay, I legitimately was, anyways.
Hey, so big thanks to Agent Ernie for the super chat. We also got Mike's Madness with a super chat. It says, thank God there were no other gloves. Travis was about to mess you up. LOL. You're a nut, Gary.
Well,
he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
All I can say is it's a good thing I'm not actually blessed with like world champion arm wrestling powers, because you guys clearly, that is my, when I get, so Travis has brought up in the past, when I had an issue with Tim Bresnan, I created a viral video of him. I peed on a Brezzy dog, a little stuffed animal that I called Brezzy. I mean, I am known to do some crazy things when I'm like, triggered.
As a point to that, having known Gary 10 years ago, for right before you kind of went to CrossFit, none of what you did in that video surprised me in the least. I was 0% surprised by any of that.
So I just want to say real quickly that Travis Bagent did try to cancel this 40 times. He tried to. So maybe I went a bit hard on him in that video. But Travis Bagent is also the person that told me Sunday morning, he goes, dude, why are you creating such a scene? Like so Saturday night, I kind of went over the top. I mean, it's what I do to get fired up. I literally liked Barry Bourne. I told him, Barry Bourne called me and said, I love you, Gary Roberts. Now, 24 hours later, he said, I'd effing kill you. But he still every other day would say, I love you. We'll still box. He even called me a few days ago saying, hey, man, I was cleaning my mold. I'm not going to be 100%. And I was like, well, then it'll be even closer. Because the whole time I'm thinking is I played this like I'm tough game because I felt I had to. Because he says he's a boxing trained for 27 years. I thought I had to be a little intimidating. So Travis is like, dude, you are going nuts. And I was like, well, I mean, I thought I'm not huge into sports, but I thought that's what people do. They, talk trash. McGregor talks trash, right? I thought that was part of it. And Barry Bourne seemed to be getting rattled by it. And I even told him on the phone maybe 3 weeks ago. I said, relax, dude. Don't take it personally. Like,
okay, so question now. We got another super chat, but did you die for $4.99? Says, here's some grow up and act like an adult money. Use it. Thank you.
I mean,
guy. Okay, hold on, Gary. Hold on. Now, Artem, you were there. Congratulations, by the way. Big and left and right winner. I thought that event was really, really good. I enjoyed everything that I saw, whether it was the live stream or whatever. But Artem, before we give you and heap our praises upon you, now that you saw Gary Roberts and Barry Bourne, where is the crazy level? Is Barry as crazy as we make him out to be?
No. So when I was explained what Barry is, Barry was like, here, like you can't even see how far Barry is. That's what I've been told, right? So I'm like, well, I'm from Florida. Like, how far normal Florida guy is? And they tell me it's this and Barry's there. And I never really had to ask anybody about Gary, but I always assume if Barry's here, Gary's here, right? Like, no, that's Florida guy. Gary is a little higher than a Florida guy, right?
Wait, are you saying crazy level?
Yes.
You're saying Florida guys are crazy too?
Yeah, but they're one notch below you. Just one notch. Just one, little bit. It's a little step. Maybe not a step up, maybe just different direction, but it's different, right? It's different. So, but now that I've met both, where's my faces? Here's Florida. Barry is somewhere over here. And Gary is somewhere over here. That's my level. Barry was actually, out of all the weirdo camera guys, Barry was probably the most normal person over there. I don't know how.
So he's just tough online then.
No. The guy is fucking nuts. But he was still really normal. Like, I thought, like, if I have to distance myself from him, but like, I was really cool with him. And like, I'm not the guy to be cool with anybody. If you're too much weirder than me, I'm not gonna do too good because I'm weird too. But Barry was like really normal, even though he was a little crazy.
Was that your experience, Gary?
So, listen, Barry Bourne told me, do not put another negative thing on the internet about me. He literally called me. He said, I don't like my children having to see negative things about me. And I completely was like, dude, all you've done is crazy. Why do you care? Why do you care about it? Like, isn't this guy didn't he challenge Dan Mosier, $10,000 match, like all this craziness? And so I was like, dude, I don't even hear that. It sounds like the biggest hypocrite thing. But in my relationship with Barry Bourne, he's so hot and cold. One day he loved me. One day he hated me. One day he loved me. One day he hated me. And the whole thing was Travis kept trying to cancel the match, but Barry Bourne confirmed it. He called me. He's like, dude, I love you. We'll do this match. And I said, well, I'm just letting you know, I'm going to try. I mean, I'm not into fake stuff. I like authentic. I want to try. And he goes, if you try, then I'd probably kill you or I'd have to kill you. And I was like, just do your best. Like if I'm going to arm wrestle Artem and he says, no, I'm not going to let me feel my hit. And I say, I want to feel it. I want to feel it. Don't go soft on me. That's all I told Barry Bourne. Give me your best. I'm going to give you my best. Well, he took it as a sign. He kept getting offended. He kept getting mad and then calling me saying, I don't want none of this. And so that's when I kind of like, this whole thing started because I said I could put on a better show than Barry Bourne. Now, if Barry Bourne and I fight and I charge him and he knocks me out in one punch, bam, I put on a better show than him. Okay. So that video would be more interesting. So I was willing to take a hit for the challenge. Okay. So, but when Travis started saying I would get killed, that started getting me fired up. Even though he was trying to cancel it, he was also saying that I couldn't do anything. And that fired me up more than Barry Bourne getting so rattled fired me up more. So I kind of got in this, there was this whipsaw of emotions back and forth with these guys. Point is, Sunday, Travis was like, do you think Barry Bourne really wants to fight you? And I was like, I mean, I'm not, just like I don't have any animosity. I don't want to hurt Barry Bourne. It's just like an arm wrestling match. I want to see how I would do against Barry Bourne. Like there wasn't any animosity towards it. And Travis was like, okay, he goes, you need to be quiet about this event because if the convention center people say anything, then it would be canceled by them too. And I said, well, then we'd go outside. And he said, well, going outside would be more dangerous. So we'll circle the chairs and you guys can do it. But then like 10 minutes before, that's when you see Travis going, you wrecked it, blah, blah, blah. And all I'm thinking is like, dude, this has all been just a mental game on my point. Barry Bourne probably would beat me up, but I was willing to take on the challenge. I don't know why this guy got so rattled by me.
You won. That means you won. Your game was to psych him out. Clearly, he was psyched out. You won. That's it, right?
Yeah, ready. So I released the video because I wanted just people to know I made an attempt. I was not part. I think Travis, clearly by Friday night's occurrence, Travis is into, fun marketing, like whatever. And he thought, oh, at first Gary and Barry might be funny. We'll do it. But when I started to take it seriously, he backed off, obviously. And by that night, clearly no one wanted it. But to me, when you say you offended the promoter, I'm thinking I spent too much promoting this thing. I care about my credibility. And when I back something, I'm being so blinded by that I'm caring about nobody at this point. Like someone's
what are you going to do with that information moving forward? What's your plan moving forward? I think that's what everybody wants to know now is like, okay, we had this. It was a bit of a debacle. It was still interesting to watch. We got a little bit of fun content, but what is it for Gary? Like I would prefer, for me personally, I want to see you put that determination and motivation to fight into arm wrestling. Like train for arm wrestling more. That's what I want to see.
I will. I am. I'm not going to box anymore. I mean, I feel kind of bad that Barry told me don't put anything negative on the internet. And then I still put out that video. It's like, cause my name is more important than you caring about your kids' feelings at the moment. Like I don't want to be associated at all with trying to hype something I knew was either fake or not going to happen. So now that I've done that, I'm not going to be challenged anyone to any boxing matches. If Barry Bourne is like someone say, why didn't you go outside with Barry Bourne? Like, dude, I never wanted a street fight. Dude, I for a second thought early that I can maybe beat Barry Bourne arm wrestling, but I learned real quick, Saturday night, he's nowhere even near. I don't think he's even near amateur. Like I've arm wrestled amateurs and his power felt way more than that. So he's a far better arm wrestler than I thought. So
yeah,
I could have been off on his boxing skills too, which I just said he was slow. I mean,
so we do have several super chats. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Much appreciated. Daniel Urich with a $5 says 100 likes for a shelf pick. Are you guys aware of what I've been doing? If I get to 100 likes, I take a mystery item off of my shelf that's full of mystery items and you get a rare glimpse into the inner workings of the mind of Uncle John. So yes, we can do that. Agent Ernie for $5 says, I imagine Travis and Barry as more manly men. I'm surprised they chickened out. Woof. Corey West, my main man, Corey West. Corey was looking strong. He said, who won the left supers? I had to get on the road. Who did win the left supers in the...
Breeder.
Oh, Jonathan
yeah,
Breeder?
yeah. Oh yeah, he went 21-0.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude.
Breeder just 21-0.
Dude, I got some great stuff, man. I got some great stuff.
I can't
my
wait.
God. Oh, so someone said, hey, you didn't even thank Travis. I gotta say one thing about Travis Bagent. He saved my ass. I will say that he is a genius for 2 reasons. I don't know about genius, but he saved me because he's the one that convinced me to do just top 8 and not top 16. The format that I ran, it's hard to manage with 8 guys. We saw it with just the weirdo camera guys. What, we didn't even have 8 there, and they kept moving all over. It's like these guys are like ants. The philosophy was like you need to stay in line and you got to rush the table. Like, I don't know if the outcome would have been slightly different had Artem and Jody not been allowed so much rest Saturday night, because they were.
What do you think, Artem?
There was no rest though.
No, the thing is, we were waiting to call up the guys. We were calling up the wrong guys. Like, the guys didn't approach the table until the announcer said, where the format as intended is the arm wrestlers in waiting know their place, and they're like rushing to the table. Guys were waiting until the match was over, and then they were going to get chalk. And at one point I was like, chalk your hand now before you're up. Are you kidding me? You're giving these guys rest. You're giving them an opportunity that they shouldn't have. I got to say one thing. I don't know if everyone knows, we're pumping my my Patreon. I'm using all Patreon money to give away as prize money to the ROTN format. And when the next time I do Beauty and the Beast with Travis, I will be drawing a name for my Patreon members to give away $100. So right now there's only like 10 guys over there. Rush over, sign up for Patreon, help us continue to blow this shenanigans up. So sign up.
So I think you were correct in the first. What was his first? Right hand. I think left handed was fairly fast, because I think I kept beating people and kept switching sides, and most of them were. It was fairly fast. I see what you're saying.
Oh, yeah, because I told Travis we need to fix it. We did make an adjustment for the left.
Yeah, because I remember left hand, because I was beating people and switching sides. Because the right hand, I think once I beat Jody, I kind of didn't switch sides because nobody really asked me to. And left hand fixed it to where I was switching sides. It was faster, and people were kind of done by that.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So what did you think about the format in itself, Artem? For you, like, I know it was kind of like you and Jody were the closest matchup, probably.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, plus I pulled the tournament the following day too.
Mm-hmm.
So I've experienced it from having 12 and 21 win. I think 21 win as far as the format, it's pretty cool. I liked it. I liked it the Saturday, and I liked it for the real tournament. I think 21 win is a lot, to where it's almost boring if you're super dominant, or to where it's a lot to take, even if you're not. Like, it's a lot. So I feel like if I were to run it, I'll probably remove wins. I'll probably remove wins at all. Like, I don't think the number should matter. I think there should be timeline, like make it a 20-minute, 25-minute thing, just like what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
then how would you determine, if you don't count the wins, how would you determine at the end of
well,
time?
I guess you have to count the wins, but I guess what I meant the amount of wins, like you don't have to hit 21. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna count the wins, but we're gonna determine it by time. Like we have to pull to 25 minutes.
So whoever has the most wins at the end of
just make the whole mid grinder go for 25 minutes and watch what happens after 25 minutes. So, but
well, see, the thing is, the reason we did that is because Travis was like, what if you have somebody that's so dominant, they never take a loss.
Yes. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, you have to eliminate them. We have to eliminate them if it levels such a big difference. Yeah, I see now. Okay. Well, then I guess I do like the format, but I guess I see the 21 wins is a little too much even to watch. Like watching Breda go 21 wins was a little bit hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it was, Sherman kept laying down, and I feel like the Sherman was the only person to beat him. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like 12, I don't know what's the ideal number. It cannot be too fast, but it cannot be 21 either. Like, I don't know, 12 to 15.
So here's the thing. I originally had a 35-minute time cap, but we moved it to a 30-minute time cap. And the guys who did the runs was the first 15 minutes. They didn't go over half the time. I have an interesting anecdote. The very first, the 176 class, Scott Wynn, he was making comments. He clearly was not, he thought it was stupid. He's like, oh, yay. Another's like, oh, and he's like, marathon arm wrestling, yay. I was like, he clearly wasn't into it. But I don't think he knew that after Jason Tarver got 21 wins that he would leave the competition. So he started to get a little better once we started going for second and third place. But let's say I'm giving away a lot of money. Those the guys who run off 21 wins in a row, those are ranks number one. The guys like in the 209s, I think the wins were at 15 because no one popped off 21. So you would get ranked higher than a guy somewhere else. That's like theoretically high. Jamie Sheldon, that fit.
Gary.
You have any comments on this?
Gary, what are you doing? What are you doing trying to fight people? Gary, I've known you a long time. I know you're nuts. What are you going to get out of this?
Well,
this
it's
was
over.
Before it started. You should have called me.
Here's the thing.
Gary, I love you. I know you're passionate about everything you do, but let's think about this from, when you're young and you just will fight everybody, because I was that guy too. But let's think about all this for a little bit. Who are you trying to prove to? You know who I fight for now?
Hi.
That's it, bro. None of these people on this chat, none of my customers, definitely not any arm wrestlers. You out of your mind? These people will leave you high and dry, bro. Come on. You got way more to lose than you think.
Here's the thing. I hold on. You spoke.
Gary likes to cut me off too, even though I've known him for 20 years.
I knew I was playing with fire with Barry, but I thought that he had such an advantage that he would never leave me high and dry. I thought he would box. Like the guys train. He's stronger than me. I haven't fought since my brother beat me up when I was 18. Like
Gary, this was bad before it started. Like, did you watch that? Obviously you did. Did you think that this guy actually does fight? Like, how much of that was influenced by Travis? If you got the right friend, he'll make you feel like Superman.
No, Travis said I would get my ass kicked.
No, I'm talking about that first fight. Nobody knew who Barry Bourne was, and then Travis put him on the map. Trust me.
I talked about him first.
Well, I saw you post about him, and then we found out that there was straight to him arm wrestling. So, but come on, none of these guys are fighters. The real fighter would not have taken this route. Am I right?
Here's the deal. You're right. We're done.
Gary,
Barry
you are
Bourne.
great at what you do. Don't do this no more. I love you.
I'm not going to do it
And
anymore.
Don't
I'm
do the
done.
Patreon thing, bro. Don't just
No,
interview
no.
me once, and I'll give you more money than this Patreon will happen. I've given $200 a month to my friends for their awesome work. Just interview me once. I'll super chat you while you're interviewing me. I love you,
Can I
Gary.
get 200?
I want to have.
Artem, I'm giving you money.
I want to have the
John,
most
I'm giving you
Patreon.
money.
I want to have
Hey,
the most Patreon.
Jason's gonna take me fishing,
That's right.
and we'll have some fun.
That's
Okay.
right.
There's no more fighting. I'm done fighting. That's it.
But hey,
I'm-
Gary. Okay, Gary, and you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying, as your friend, I've known you for a long time. I don't want to turn on YouTube and see that bullshit. Come on, brother. I love you. Your
Yeah, I'm
friends
done.
love you.
I forgot. We are brought to you by Western Survivor. Adam's in the chat.
Look,
Western
it's Uncle Gary. Uncle John, too. Look. Uncle Jason, Uncle Artem. Everybody's an uncle.
We're all here.
Hey, my bad. I didn't mean to cut into your show. Gary, come on. I love you.
It's
I
the
just-
whole point of the show.
Yeah, but I'm never usually around for these. So I wanted to look how busy I am, obviously.
Okay.
Respect every single one of you and what you do, though, guys. You guys are all awesome. Okay,
Love you,
I really
Gary.
mean that. All
Thank
right?
you.
Man, Jamie, you're the man.
Thank you. We are done with Barry Bourne. Barry Bourne, if you're watching this, you're no longer allowed to challenge people. You're cut off. Cut off. Because I mean, listen, he wanted to be friends. We can be friends. It's like you guys know a Saturday Night Live, that one character that was like, what is Pat? You couldn't tell if Pat was a girl or boy. And it was kind of like it was the funny thing. Do you guys remember the character Pat?
Yep.
It's Pat.
To me, Barry Bourne was like, is Barry for real or not? And I kind of thought it was fun to joke around with that. And so I dove in the pool with entertainment of Barry Bourne, and I got kind of lost up in the elixir, but he got too offended by me playing like talking tough. Anyways, we are done. Popeye, can you hear us, Popeye?
Hey, before we move on, Daniel Yurick with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Daniel. He says 2 days till Mazelle's arms fall off. Lack of subs syndrome. Hashtag save the arms. 20 more to 400 subs. We got Mazel Jador has been a great moderator for many of us in the arm wrestling community. Head on over to Mazel Jador's channel. He's got the link in the chat. Give that man a like. Got to get him up over the 400 mark here by the end of the month.
All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. I got obviously full house. Love you guys. Talk
Enjoy.
Thank you, Bye-bye.
Oh,
Popeye,
you know what else we have to talk about, Gary? The fact that you did have a big win over the weekend over Julian D. Galligan.
Wow.
I did.
Hey, he surprised me with that right hand. I'm not gonna lie.
Here's how levels work. You got Julian, you got Gary, you got Barry, you got 100 other guys, and then you got Artem. So that's how the levels work.
Hey, I want to know, how would you think you did in that? So one, I kind of feel bad because John Dabo and Jimmy G, they were in the lightweight, and Travis wanted to reverse it. And I was so stuck on the format. I'm not sure if it would have changed the format if we went light to heavy, but this is why I wanted to have weight classes in the ROTN the next day, because clearly the lighter guys get a bit of a shaft. So I feel bad for that they didn't get a really opportunity to shine. But it made me wonder what you would have done in that tournament, Uncle John.
Can you say that one more time, Gary? I missed that last part.
How would you have done against Artem and Jody?
I'm right there. I don't know if I would have beat them or not, but I guarantee you I am at the very least right there with those guys. I don't know. I don't know if I could win. I'm guessing, Mike, I train my endurance to a very extreme amount. I feel that I would do really, really well in the ROTN format. Because that's all I do. Like my power is nothing compared to my ability to just grind and grind and grind and grind and grind. Is my power enough? I don't know. Artem's been looking really, really good. Jody is really, really fast. But I would have bet money on myself in that format with those guys.
I would have loved to have seen it. Popeye in here, so this format,
What's up, Popeye?
I thought it would open up a couple, curveballs to the situation by tiring some of the strong guys out. And Popeye came in and exposed some of these guys, and he went on a run. This guy's 62 years old. It says, are you connected to your audio, Popeye? Can you hear us? Thumbs up if you can hear us. We can't hear you, buddy.
Hear you. Got to figure out how to connect that audio, brother.
This guy went on a run. I cannot wait to. So, huge thanks to Travis Bagent. I went hard on him. I was kind of a dick to Travis. Yes, he did try to cancel the match. I wasn't having it. But he gave me the opportunity to run this format. And there was one hiccup officially that I saw. And it was Michael Todd was leaving after the 209 or after the heavyweights. There was a point where Herman Stevens was behind Wayne Withers, and we announced 5 minutes left, 5 minutes left. And then they rushed through, and a couple guys dropped a few matches to get Herman past Wayne by like a match or two for the win. Wow. And I was like, ooh, that felt fishy. So I just want to let you guys know out there, that will be addressed. If at the very last couple minutes, someone comes from behind, we won't just end it. There'll be a pull off between first and second to make sure that the right guy wins. It was a little manipulated, and I agree with that. Other than that, there was some exciting. Oh, and huge shout out to Bob Brown, because he's the one who told me that you're never going to be able to finish all these matches if you go to the end. So I was like, oh, well, then I can add a time cap. So we added the time cap. So it did feel like a race, which is kind of what I was going for. And I thought it was a huge success. It was awesome.
It was. I had a blast this weekend.
Yeah. And huge shout out to Julian for helping us film.
Popeye, I think you got your sound is on now, but you got to unmute yourself.
Oh, I just clicked it. Unmute.
There we go.
Popeye.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Popeye's in the house. He was running wild last weekend.
How many matches did you end up winning on your streak?
I think it was either 6 or 7. By the time I got done, I couldn't even see straight.
I'm telling you, Uncle John, wait till you see the video. This guy, it was
Popeye, what's your background? Have you been pulling for a long time?
1 year in the pro.
Nice.
That's it. What?
1 year.
So I would like to say this event, somebody flew in from California. We had Jody from the Pacific Northwest. We had Roger and the Black Ice, and maybe someone else from the Northeast. Then you had Artem and Chance from the Southeast. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
There was representation from every spot in the country. That was amazing. I can't believe it.
I knew that was going to happen.
You knew that?
Yeah, I knew that was going to. I knew, well, because I'm super big on being on social media and all the arm wrestling platforms, and literally every arm wrestling page had a flyer for the ROTN, and I just had a feeling from all the big names in the seminar, this was going to pull in everybody from every 4 corners of the United States.
I mean, it was awesome. Here's how awesome it was. John Brzenk did not make it. Cobra Rhodes did not make it, and no one said anything.
Wow, nice.
Mhm.
I mean, no
Yeah.
one complained at all that John Brzenk didn't make it. That's the difference between Travis and myself. Like, you know, he's like, John didn't make it. I mean, I think maybe going forward, Travis, like if you by picking names, it's I don't know. You should just have like we'll have one of the stars. Maybe have pictures of 10 different stars, and we're gonna have 3 of the 10. That way you can always have a rotation and you never like tie yourself, you know, in case certain things don't happen. But I accomplished everything that I wanted to accomplish. And I heard that a couple people didn't like it. And I'm telling you, right, anyone who did not like the ROTN format, I said by doing this, I want to expand the freeway of arm wrestling. Right now, it's sprint kind of racing, you know, shuttle sprints. And I'm like, I like the marathon lane, and I'm just expanding the field. And anyone who doesn't like that field, it's like, okay, well, you don't have to compete. You just stay in the sprints. But we accomplished something where it was clear as day, like, oh, snap. There could be guys that are like, I asked who's going to win the heavies. And there was like Wayne Withers. And I was like, Wayne Withers can do pop off 21. And it was clear that at about 10 to 12 matches, he started to like, oh shit, my arm, like no one had ever made Wayne Withers work this hard. I feel kind of bad. I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy. Usually just walk right through the tournament. But
Well, it's not usually the first match that you win. It's the last one that counts.
Yeah. So it was exciting to see what happens when the best guys break down a little bit and then they come in and get challenged, and it gives an opportunity for guys like Popeye to just go on a run. And you're like, what? Who is this old dude? What?
Awesome.
Popeye was running wild all night long.
Yeah.
Hey, we got another $5 super chat from Daniel Urick. Says, anyone on here from Kentucky? Herpes is looking for a club near him to train. I think Herpes later said he's going to a practice with Mike West. That's perfect. I told Herpes to look up Mike West. Mike West, one of the best guys you could find in that area. So get on it, boys.
I'm calling Travis Bagent.
Oh boy.
I want to see what.
This is not going to end well, and it's going to be awesome at the same time.
Think so?
Will he answer?
I do want to give him props. I mean, I can't believe he can pull together stuff like that. Like, it's amazing. Oh, come on.
Not happening.
You know, I'm done. I don't want to be causing drama. Someone said, oh, you were just recovering from that whole past drama, and now you did it again. I don't like it. I'm a stick to hosting events, let you guys be the stars. But anyways, what do you got, Merlot? What's happening?
I don't know. Do you think you should have like not gone through and have been so serious about the whole entire thing, looking back at it now?
I mean, obviously I didn't like doing all those burpees and going out into the snow to try to do some running. Why would I have wanted to do that for nothing? Like, I mean, I guess I just wanted to do something challenging, and it did get me to work out. So, but it's clear that everyone else didn't. They like the Barry Bourne, the first fight, you know, I mean, were those, if I would have paid attention, remember I kind of got in trouble for saying that Barry should take this seriously and really fight Dave Morocco. Like, I mean, I'm just not into promoting fantasy. You know what I mean? Like, are we just, what do you call it when they're just not real fights, but what do they call them?
Hollywood.
No, like,
oh, yeah, Merlot.
there's a, Jonathan Brita. Oh my God, that guy's a badass.
$5 super chat says, there's no one in the US that would have stopped me left-handed Sunday. Everybody getting cracked. So did anybody even challenge him left-handed?
Oh, dude, he was badass.
Who else? So he went through Withers.
think-
Who else was there in the heavier weights?
I don't.
There.
Herman?
Withers,
Yeah.
Withers did not look like the Withers right-handed. His left.
Yeah. His
wasn't
left
even-
is different.
Yeah.
Yes, his left is different for
Uh,
sure.
Man, I
I
have a
think-
game.
I think Herman was laying down for Brita a couple of those on that left hand.
Well,
Yeah?
I think from what I've heard with Herman has stated multiple times now that Brita is just on a rocket ride, and Herman has stated that he can't really do too much with him now. So he may have been, he may have been, and just conserving himself. It's possible.
Let's see.
Yeah, because I do believe Herman got second place left hand.
That would make sense. That would make sense. So we had Brita, we had Herman, Wayne Withers. Can you think of anybody else that?
There's another beast. His name's Cody Dollar. He was a beast.
Oh yeah, Cody Dollar's a good puller. Yeah.
From Oklahoma. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
What about Chance? Was Chance in that? Chance Shaw?
No.
No, he didn't pull that.
he pulled left-handed a little bit, but I
Mhm.
don't. He didn't make it into the top 8. I don't think.
Yeah, his left
Yeah,
is
yeah.
different too. His left is
The stud
Yeah,
Baker said Withers gave Herman some trouble. Okay.
Oh, I guess I got to get this video out. Here's another thing. This format, it forces you to need to know the whole story, because people would just post, "Oh, here's my matches from a tournament." Like this format, you kind of can't just post one match, because that match
Right.
is
Doesn't make
tied
any
to
sense.
that
Right.
match is tied to 10 matches before it.
the story.
And yeah, it's so.
It's
I mean,
interesting. I'm enjoying. I like the process. Like you're learning a little bit more each time you do it. And
Right.
me having seen every single experiment, it is interesting to see it kind of.
Oh, did I get chumped? No.
Nonsense.
Yeah, that was bad,
No.
Gary.
That was bad.
Oh, dude.
The cancel.
Whoa, man. People are, oh, God.
Whoever did that, you're horrible. I gotta go edit that part out. So let me
That was one of the grossest things I've ever seen in my life. I think, to tell you the truth.
Oh, my God.
Well, we could take we can go on to a new topic about the RVJ and
Wait, no.
Noah.
Hold on.
Oh boy.
Travis. Hey, you're on the show with me. Can we talk for a few minutes?
I'm in the car on the way home from the airport, but yeah.
Can you guys hear Travis?
Barely. Just put it closer. Put the speaker closer.
Hold on. Travis,
Yo,
can you guys hear him?
Better, yeah.
Hey, oh man,
Did you lose him or what?
why is my
We're losing it. We're losing it.
Dead airspace. No good.
no?
No
Where's
good.
my volume?
I don't know. I don't know where your volume is. Gary's lost the volume. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you just joining us, we are trying to get Travis Bagent on the phone
Come on.
to explain himself. We got Mean Machine Arm Wrestling with the $5. He says, to take your mind off the horrible injury. Thank you very much, Mean Machine. That goes a long way. That goes a long way. Roger Learn
I can't
says,
hear
what's
you
going
guys.
on here? I'm really not. I'm not
Not
100% sure.
Not much.
I don't know. I do not know. Oh my
Can you
goodness.
guys hear me okay?
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you, Gary.
Okay, because I can't hear you guys. Travis, did I
yes.
jeopardize our relationship with the way I acted Sunday night?
Yes.
Did I jeopardize your?
No, not Sunday night. Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday.
Just so you know, you're live on ARMTV. Okay.
I don't give a fuck. I'll tell your goddamn mom this.
So it was bad.
I mean, yeah, all I know is that we had all kinds of weird motherfucking assholes and pretty people, but you are the only person that any motherfucker that was paying me, hanging out with me, was important to me. You were the only fucking problem the whole time. There was not one other problem. There were 15 complaints, and every fucking one of them was because of you.
I mean, what do I say to that? I mean,
please do not apologize again, because the more I think about it, every fucking time that we do anything, you have to apologize for the week after that.
I mean, I think I caused drama for something different, but you're the one that had weirdo camera guys involved, and one of your weirdo camera guys.
No, don't put an S on it. Do not put an S on it. There was actually only one weirdo at the entire event, and I am talking to him right now.
I mean, I get it. I get it. Do you? I mean, are we done? Are you not inviting me to any future events because I've caused trouble 2 times in a row?
Never again.
Like 100%?
No, probably like 5%.
What about your sponsors? Did I offend Lance Hunt?
Yes. You offend every single one of my sponsors and money people and in VIPs and competitors, fellow competitors, and the community. Now, fuck the community. I really don't care, but I do care. It does upset me. But the good thing about me being upset is I'm not going to waste more than 5 seconds on it. But yeah, it was very bad, and you were the only problem of the whole weekend.
Well, I think it's safe to say if I don't box again, we should be okay.
No, that's not true. Because when you got there on Friday night, you were already in trouble. Then when you did the arm wrestling portion, you were all of the weirdo camera guy. You were terrible. Yeah, and then at the end, I don't even know what to. I have no words for the end of it. I also have very little understanding as to, you would think that my worst enemy sent you to the tournament to film and get content. It would be, I could got a better job from Leonard and Denise filming this fucking event and hosting it and boxing.
Well, I haven't posted the good stuff yet because it takes longer to edit.
Oh, okay. Good. Well, that's really going to be awesome. Can't wait for the stuff that's better and worse for the Travis Bagent brand than what you have already posted. So yeah, I'll get my popcorn ready. The next 10 days ought to be amazing.
Now, I mean, I can't let any more weird people. You got to have a real name before I let you in the chat, people. I mean, I guess you got me, dude. You got me. I messed up.
No. You got yourself, bro. You don't have to worry about me. I'm not judgmental.
I mean, I just wanted to box Barry Bourne.
I know, but you act like that every single person knew that was going to happen, rather than the obvious, that it was impossible for it to happen due to your actions. Your actions made it absolutely impossible to box. Now, there's 2 hypotheses here. The first one is that you got out of the match by going crazy. The second one is that the insecurity and the time spent by our community stressing to you that you were going to get your ass whipped drove you completely insane. Either one of those does not fucking matter to me. It is just a sad, completely sad reality that I had to, endure. Lucky for you, I am a strong person. Because if I was a tiny bit weaker, that could have been very detrimental to my business, my family, my finances, my future. But it didn't happen. Or at least I really don't give a fuck. That's for sure.
All right. Let's talk about the event. It was pretty awesome other than me, right?
No. It was a big, dark, horrible ARMTV cloud over top an amazing fucking event.
That's what I said. It was an awesome event besides me.
No. Because of you, it was not an awesome event. If you would not have acted like that or came there, then yes, it would have fucking been awesome.
No, you couldn't have done it without me.
You're exactly right. We could not have done that without you.
No, but I mean the good part, the arm wrestling part. I mean, I helped run.
Listen, no one remembers the good parts. If you ask anybody at the event from any night, you are simply going to be the only subject. Except for the fact that you have now attempted to burn me and make me a part of what you did. Like that somehow, some way, I had any fucking thing to do with it, even when the evidence is clear as you just go back and just look where I've been telling you to shut the fuck up, the match is not happening, and then whispering to you that, hey man, be quiet. There's an opportunity at the very end. If 3 intelligent human beings approach this, that we very may be able to absolutely piss the whole community off, which is something I like to do. But you would not let it happen. And I'm okay with that. But you cannot erase what you did.
I mean,
and I'm sure that anybody who loves you would be very horrified by those actions.
All right. Thanks, man. Look forward to working with you again.
No. Let's keep going. Are there some questions? Are there some questions from the fucking fans? Is there?
So here's what I can tell you, Gary.
That thinks that Gary did the right thing in trying and attempting to ruin the first ROTN event that we scheduled. I mean, was that the plan? I would love it if you told me that I got punked or that you did this because you have signed a contract with my adversaries. So you tell me, in your defense, what the fuck happened?
I mean, I thought I was going to box Barry Bourne. That's what happened.
No. What happened on Friday night when you first got there? Was there any inclination that maybe you should calm down? Maybe after 13 fucking people, including the security, that fucking place is a fucking savage man cave. There was 3 fights that night and they didn't make those people leave. They asked me 3 times if they should escort you out of the building. Just for simply yelling, bumping, and then bumping a person who is clearly not with it, not being aggressive back, begging you to stop.
I mean, I thought I was having fun. I was fired up.
Okay, you thought you were having fun, and it never occurred to you the entire evening that you went too far.
I mean, that only lasted like 5 minutes, right?
That's not true. That is inaccurate. Is that what you want the fans to think?
I mean,
is that what you want all the subscribers, all the people that you made it clear that you're not the type of person that would do something that's fake. You stress that for about a fucking hour and a half.
What I mean is, when I get fired up, it's real, but it's
Right. Well, listen, is there a chance that when you get fired up, that you are completely fucking the strangest psychopath that anybody has ever been around? Have you ever thought about that? That if anybody that was meeting you or seeing you for the first time would be incredibly fucking puzzled by your antics.
I mean, dude, I guess I thought this happens in the boxing world of promotions. People get fired up and get in their competitors' faces.
I'm going to repeat this. We have no boxing license. We are not boxers or boxer promoters. We have no insurance. You decided to act like a complete retard in front of the Waxahachie Convention Center staff right at the perfect time where they would actually be looking at us because it was close to 7 o'clock. And you know that that was the time that we had to leave.
I did not know we had to leave.
No, you didn't know that Lance said, hey,
No. Before that.
Lance, it's time to fucking leave.
No. Before.
Gary, please stop.
Before that, I did not know.
You didn't listen when he said it.
Because I was too caught up and I wasn't.
Right. So once again, I'm going to ask you, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, what? I already explained to you. I was upset. While you were trying to cancel the match, Barry Bourne never canceled
the match. What are you talking about? I canceled the match 2 months ago.
Yeah, but Barry Bourne.
No. Don't say Barry Bourne.
He did not.
Barry Bourne did not bring the boxing gloves because Barry Bourne was thrown off completely along with the entire fucking stockyard at who the fuck this human being is that is acting totally, completely irrational.
I mean, I thought it was funny. I didn't think it was that big a deal, but you're making it.
So still now that you look at the whole scenario, do you still think that you were being funny?
I mean, not Sunday night. Friday night, I thought it was funny.
Any fucking night ever, is there any part of your fucking brain that now, during the reflecting process, has deemed that he was too fucking much and so far gone that Travis received 15 complaints throughout the weekend? Now, does it set in now? Can you see it? Can you replay it in your brain or watch any of the video and say, oh, that's what he's talking about? Oh, right there was probably one of the fucking problems. Oh, that definitely was one of them.
I mean,
shit, I forgot I even fucking did that. But now that I'm watching the video and editing it, or when I throw out a comment where I say Travis's name in accordance to tricking and fucking the community up, during that fucking sentence, did any reflection take place?
I don't know. I don't know what you just said.
How come you don't know?
You said say his name. Which part are you talking about?
When you mentioned 100 times in your videos about how Travis Bagent is a complete dick face for everything that happened this weekend, at any of those fucking moments did you say, oh man, that's a pretty crazy, ludicrous lie that I am really stating in order to make sure that I don't get unsubscribed like I have been helping Travis get unsubscribed? Did you do any reflection there?
I started off this show by saying maybe I was the asshole here today.
Oh, well, finally. That's the first I've heard of it. So why the fuck did it take you so long to just say that to me? If in fact you already said it, why didn't you open my fucking conversation off? Do you think that I'm listening to your show? Or do you think that maybe I'm traveling back to my family, that I've been gone for 4 or 5 days, listening to you fucking faggots and I'm not just talking to you, whoever the fuck's on the phone with you, whoever the fuck cares about YouTube and arm wrestling, that would think for a second that you and Barry Bourne were anywhere near important enough to fuck up all that shit that happened this weekend.
I mean,
you need to do some serious, 100% serious reflection. You are going to die alone without your kids or wife if you act like that around them. God forbid if you acted like that around anybody that you really, really loved, because they wouldn't fuck with you anymore. And you should really think about, when you say my name, how important it is to me not to hear you say something fucking stupid. Like, I didn't fucking tell you that this match has a smallest chance in the world of actually happening because of your antics the last 2 months. And that, I mean, you are a real fucking piece of work, bro. You need to really, really, don't even call this phone again until you have seriously reflected on what the fuck you did this weekend.
You hung up on you? All right, all right. Hold on, Gary. Gary, we got to go through some super chats and then we'll break into what just happened here. We got a whole bunch of them. Thank you guys so much. The chat has, I think I missed one from Daniel Urich. Thank you so much, Daniel. Then we have Mike's Madness 499. He says, we need more Travis in the stockyards, but no Gary. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Daniel Urich with another $5 said, good thing we have Uncle John if Travis kills Gary. Mean Machine with $2 says, scary Barry, get away from me. We also have Joe Woodland with $10 and says, are you firing Gary, Travis? I don't think so. Travis doesn't have the ability to fire Gary. I'm watching with $14.99. Thank you guys so much. Says, Gary, you are too old to be such a spaz. Calm the fudge down. You're funny otherwise. You make the environment toxic when you spaz. And then I think we had one more. I'm watching again with another $4.99. Says, I still think you can beat Barry Bourne, Gary. He is slow and dopey. Thank you guys all so much for your super chats. So during that time, Gary, I don't know if you saw, but there was a lot of support for Gary. Team Gary was winning the battle at first. And then Travis started to turn a few people. Do you think Travis was dead serious there in that call? Or was he trolling a little bit because he knows we're online?
I don't know.
Put your microphone a little closer there, Gary.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it was pretty awful, but do you see it the way Travis said at all? Because I can see it from your perspective where you were talking about like Travis shouldn't really be too surprised about Gary being Gary. Like Travis has seen Gary be Gary a lot in the past, right? So I'm surprised that he would be truly shocked about what you did. Because I watched all the videos so far and you were very Gary, but nothing that I was like, oh man, that's awful. You know what I mean? Jacob Hayden with the $4.99 super chat says, Travis should get into the ring and stop being a pinhead. LOL, grow some balls, bro. Woof.
Damn.
So a lot of people in support of Gary
I can see
saying that Travis is gaslighting because Travis did all this bad stuff. You know, some people are very upset still that Travis did what he did with Michael, right? And so they're saying that, you know, it's not okay for him to be dumping on Gary. Daniel Urich with the $5 super chat says, Travis effed up my Friday. When he answers that, then he can come down on you, not before. Fair enough. Thank you very much. So what do you guys think in the chat? Let's see. Deadpool says, let's just take a moment to apologize to Popeye. He has to witness some messed up stuff this evening. I'm sorry, Popeye. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You had to see some unfortunate things. You had to hear Travis being upset. But you know, that's kind of the game around here. So we'll see. Gary, tell me a little bit about what's going on. That was pretty brutal from Travis. But I also know that you're someone who completely wears your emotions on your sleeve, right? You are not afraid. I've never known you to be afraid to just let happen what is really going on inside, right?
Here's the deal. That was a big opportunity that Travis gave me to do my format.
Mm-hmm.
And it was special. And, you know, just to say, none of that matters because you were you. It's like, he's right. But at the same time, everyone encouraged they said the thing was off, but Friday night, I felt very encouraged that people thought that was funny to rattle Barry Bourne.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, holy shit, it's actually working, getting into his mind. You know, and I'm not really thinking about sponsors or
Yeah,
you know, all that shit. It's like, yeah, that's kind of messed up that I could potentially jeopardize. You know, I didn't mean to do that.
do you feel like you did though? Like I haven't really seen anything, and maybe maybe there was other things that I haven't seen. It's very possible, but I didn't specifically see anything where I was like, "Whoa, Gary, calm down." Right? The end of the day thing, the video you put out was pretty intense, but I'm not like, you know, not overboard.
Well, you know, the good thing about being my age, yesterday I'm old enough to forget what happened. So tomorrow is another day.
That's a good point, Popeye. That's probably the best point of the night. And especially when you put that towards the fact that this is the internet, you know, 2 weeks from now, is anybody really going to care? Like people are already losing interest in the whole Michael Travis debacle. And that was just like, what, 4 days ago? So, you know. Also,
I know, but like his sponsors, you know, he's doing cool shit. I don't want to mess that up.
Sure. Well, you know, and you take certain things, and you take them and you learn from them, and then you change things. On a side note, I just saw somebody in the chat named Uncle John Bowen, which I find incredibly hilarious. Uncle John Bowen says, "I'm on Team Gary." Thank you very much, Uncle John Bowen. Also a super chat from Daniel Yurick, $5 says, "We are taking this to Dr. Phil." I think we need to take this to Dr. Uncle John. And Dr. Uncle John should bring him out. Travis will never do that in a million years, but it would be pretty funny. Mean Machine Arm Wrestling with a $2 super chat. Thank you guys so much for super chatting. It means a lot. It says, Travis's attitude is why I don't pull at his events. So even now, it's very split, right? There are certain people that are on Team Travis. There are, I would say, more people right now that are actually on Team Gary and that are siding with you, Gary. Wayne Withers says, "Gary, don't worry. You the man." It's beautiful. So you do have some support, Gary.
Yeah, normally I wouldn't let Travis get to me like that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's brutal. Well, you guys have been friends for a very long time, right? Yeah.
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 I think all you have to throw Travis about $1,000 and make him happy, and tomorrow is another day.
I let Matt Craig in, but I don't see him. You got to turn on your video.
Oh, Matt Craig. Craig, is he the guy that was doing all the announcing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the announcer and the referee for last weekend.
Yeah.
Stanley Pitts with a $2 super chat says, "Don't listen to Travis. Gary was awesome." Thank you, Stanley. Hey, Matt, unmute yourself there, buddy. There we go.
What's up? Coming in from the gym.
Matt Craig
coming in from the gym.
Oh, look at this guy. Guns up, everybody. Question for you, Matt.
Looking
I got
like
a question
a
for you.
gorilla.
So, where are you on this issue with Gary? Did you see Gary acting totally insane, or was Gary within the limits of Gary Roberts?
I was worried about the timing and the place. Other than that, I think him getting fired up is absolutely awesome. I think it's a great thing, but the time and the place was just off. We could have had Waxahachie police there. We could have been put in a position where we got a bad name with the venue. Other than that, honestly, I thought it was pretty cool. Had it been done in the right time and place, it would have been outstanding. But it was the wrong time, the wrong place. Had we taken it, out into the middle of a parking lot somewhere, it would have been great. It would have been cool. It would have been funny, but where just the timing and the place was just all wrong. It just beyond that, everything was cool.
Are you specifically talking about what transpired after the tournament?
I'm specifically talking about the Waxahachie Civic Center. Yes.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there for whatever was said I was there Friday night, but I don't remember everything getting out of control Friday night.
Okay.
I apparently wasn't there for that, but specifically what happened in Waxahachie, yeah, that could have been handled. If you wanted to put on the gloves, out in the street outside of Big Al's would have been a better place, somewhere like that, where, we weren't in a position to where we would have had to deal with police. We would have given arm wrestling a bad name. Other than that, I think that would have been acceptable.
I agree. I was emotional. What can I say? Been there, done that. You all know.
Now, here's a question. If Gary was wearing a 10-gallon cowboy hat, would that have changed anything?
Not a thing, man. No, that wouldn't have changed anything. I think the big deal, and take me personally, I'm a fiery, passionate person too. I just got back into good graces with the Texas Arm Wrestling League after all the shit I stirred up with Greg Gray. So, and I went way overboard with the things I said with that. I had to come back with a public apology and get myself back in the good graces of my friends, my people, everybody. And I've never been like that with arm wrestling, but I'm a fiery, competitive person. So I understand where Gary's coming from on that. The only thing is just the timing was all wrong. Other than that, hell yeah, get fired up. Barry gets fired up. Barry's that guy that, he's getting in everybody's ear. I have no problem with that. But, it just should have been handled in a different place, a different time, a different place. That's all.
So maybe just different planning, better planning, alternate, but it was difficult, right? Because Travis was kind of pooping on it from the very beginning. And yes, it's happening. No, it's happening. Gary's getting some mixed signals. So, there will be people, and I might be one of them, that's just like, maybe we just refocus and put all this craziness towards arm wrestling instead of, fighting or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that angle, we're arm wrestlers. I'm not trying. Barry asked me to box one time, and I wasn't mad at Barry for asking me to box. But at the same time, I'm like, no, I'm a 41-year-old guy. If I break my hand or my jaw, I'm out of work for weeks. So
Sure.
I'm not going to start getting into boxing and shit like that. There's no point in it. That's not my cup of tea. I'm an arm wrestler. That's what I do.
Gary, now you can confirm this, Gary, but Gary has said the boxing is over.
Yeah, I'm done.
Now, Gary, my challenge to you is, can we get Gary in 2021? By the end of 2021, can we make Gary into a open class puller?
Oh, open. That's the stretch. Dude, Barry Bourne, dude, I was gripping up with him. I got a long way to go before I could even.
Yeah, but when was the last time you got in a gym and trained gym stuff for arm wrestling?
I know, but to even become, we're still trying to hope to go novice to amateur. Let's hold off the open word. That's a big word, man. I want to become a better arm wrestler. I'm going to continue to arm wrestle more. I'm done with boxing. My gloves will stay right here, just chilling. Yeah, that's it. I prefer to set up an event, let you guys arm wrestle, and let Popeye become a star than to deal with this. I thought it was going to be fun. Do a little sideshow over here, but it's definitely not worth it. So
Fair enough.
Not to be scolded like a little child on my own show. Forced to crack.
I think it's all right. We got a couple more super chats. Agent Ernie, $5 says, cheer up. Travis gave you hope when he really wasn't planning on doing it. It could easily be set up at a local gym with waivers signed. He was stressed. Well, that's probably part of it because Travis doesn't want all the smoke that comes along with that potential issue. But he should have been a little bit more clear about the expectations on the whole thing. We also got
one thing about Texas. Hold on. The one thing about Texas is if two parties agree to meet somewhere and fight, it falls under mutual combat, and no party can press charges and no party can get in trouble, period.
Oh, that's good to know.
I've done that several times.
Well, we can do that, Julian, but the problem is you can't do it on private property. And the Waxahachie Civic Center is technically private property. So they could still arrest both of them there.
Yeah, but like you were saying, time and place, but everyone was worried about someone getting hurt and waivers being signed, and this when in Texas, you don't need none of that.
No, we
Texas,
can
Louisiana,
Mississippi,
Alabama, you can hold an MMA event in any of those states unsanctioned, no problem. No problem.
So we did a couple other super chats. Deadpool with the $4.99 in British units says, Gary, Travis's opinion isn't worth anything. I'm glad you messed up his event. Well, I don't think you messed up the event. Just,
fuck that event was awesome, man. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I was just about to say, fuck that guy.
Brian Gosman, $4.99 says, Gary, keep your chin up. Whatever happened, happened. I love your channel and your enthusiasm. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Evan Burgoyne in the chat now. Evan, have you been listening to all this craziness?
Yeah, I've been listening to this shit while I was driving home from Ottawa.
Yeah.
Jesus. Why is Travis such a whiny cunt? Like, I don't get it. Like, what the fuck did Gary do? He showed up to fight a motherfucking guy that's been threatening to hurt him and telling everybody how badly he's going to fuck this guy up. So he gets there, sees him, gets a little fucking excited. It's fucking Gary Roberts. What the fuck did you think he was going to do?
That's a good argument. That's a good argument.
So if you invite me to your event, do not get upset when I become some loud, drunk asshole the whole time. It's going to happen every single time. You know this before I come. Tell me not to come if you don't want me there.
What do you think of that, Gary?
I mean, listen, here's the thing. I released a couple videos that were not highlighting the cool stuff that was happening. So I get that. I get that that's all he's seen over the last couple days. So
I saw the cool stuff.
Maybe he's a little sore about that, but now I can focus on releasing the cool stuff.
I think you already did get the cool stuff out. Barry Bourne is not a normal person. That dude is absolutely fucking nuts. This dude, I don't know, I pissed him off somehow. I don't know. I was talking to him one of these nights after practice. And for the next 3 straight days, I got 800 messages a day from him. And I am not exaggerating. I went down to that little event that we had where I pulled Jason Constantini, and my phone was just going nuts in my pocket the entire time. Everybody was just laughing. It's like, Jesus, aren't you usually the one that's trolling people? Just, you're not fucking tasing me right now, man. Get that the fuck out of here.
I mean, well, that's a good point. What Travis doesn't have, he doesn't have all the messages that I've received from Barry Bourne over the course of the 6 weeks. I mean, it's a lot. I mean,
I believe you. I'm not kidding.
It's a lot.
800 messages a day.
It's a lot to tell you that, like, according to Barry Bourne, we were going to box. I mean, how whatever I did Friday undid it. But I mean, I spoke to Barry Bourne multiple times on the phone where he was like, you're taking this too far. I'm going to kill you. And I was like, relax, bro. This is what I got to do to get fired up. I'm giving you the keys to ignore me. I'm telling you, it's just how I get fired up. When you see a peacock fan its wings The peacock's feathers are designed to intimidate somebody who's going to attack them. And I'm just fanning my flames. It's just my nature when I'm about to do something that could potentially harm me. And I told him, it's just me fanning my flames. Don't take it too seriously. I didn't tell him on the phone, no, I'm going to hurt you, bro. I said, I'm just going to do my best, Barry. Relax, relax. Why he's going to Travis and whatever's happening between him and Travis to freak everyone out. I mean, all I know is that a couple people did say, hey, dude, you got to relax or we're going to kick you out. And, you know, it eventually did calm down. It did not go on for like too long.
Hey, we got
What
another
I do
super chat
know,
from Daniel Urick, $5. He says, get a lawyer so you get full custody after the divorce.
All right.
what I do know is,
Mind. I'm getting ready to take off
all right,
here.
Popeye.
Really
Thanks for
appreciate
coming on, Popeye.
Can't wait to share your video, Popeye.
All righty. I'm looking forward to it, brother. You have a good day now. Popeye out now.
Hey, we have to address something. The chat has gone over 100 likes. And I did say that we would do a mystery shelf reveal for 100 likes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shelves. Evan Burgoyne, I know you're so interested in me and my life, and you give so many shits about it. What shelf are we taking something from today?
4.
Shelf number 4. Let's see.
Somebody in the chat said the peacock is for mating. If I got that one wrong, I apologize.
Were you trying to mate with Barry Bourne?
This was not for mating, okay? Okay.
I don't know. Some of those messages out of those 800 that I did read a few of, he might be interested in dudes.
There's a guy in the chat who does not like me. What's his name? Kevin is positive. He's left a couple. Gary. Anyways, he's been hard on me in the chat. Hey man, I'll try to get better, bro. I'll try to get
Gary,
better.
if he's not super chatting, you ignore him. Let's go back to Uncle John's gift.
It's a constant learning lesson to become a better person. Okay, what do you got,
All right.
Uncle John?
Here we go. We had Herpes Aspirini with $5, and he says, show me on the doll where Travis hurt you, Gary. In the heart, I think. I think it was in the heart.
Here's the deal. Travis, he can troll you. So do you guys remember when he told me Bill Collins is blah, 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 blah? And he was like, I'm just fucking with you. Like Bill Collins said, we're cool. Like, so he trolled me on the show, but then he's like, I don't know if he was trolling me there or if he's legit pissed, but I'll find out. Okay, what do you got?
All right. Are you ready? All right. Little known fact. Some of you who have been hanging out on my chats, my live streams on Wednesdays might know this, but I have half of a PhD in cults, specifically cults that use psychic powers, right, as a part of their religion. And so on my shelf, I have a variety of books that have learned me about these types of things, including this little gem called Psychic Powers. This is a pretty good book. It gives you all the in-depth analysis of what it is to be involved in the psychosis of spirituality. You ever done any psychic stuff, Gary? You strike me as someone who's into tarot cards at one point in your life.
No, I am not. How do you have half a PhD? What does that mean?
I quit halfway through to become an arm wrestling YouTuber. So I have a master's degree in sociology of new religious movements, or cults is what they call it. And then I have half of a PhD, which I dropped out of after 2 years because it was absolutely disgustingly awful. And the people were heinous.
The masters, is that something that you could make money in?
I could teach with a PhD. I could teach. I could do certain research things, but I'm having way more fun doing all this. So I spent a year in a psychic cult, and I would go every single week. I would go and I would learn how to use psychic powers. And then I basically analyzed this, and I figured out the 7 key things. I wrote my thesis on the 7 key ways that they trick you into believing that you have psychic abilities. Because it's all a sham. It's all a scheme. But the people who are running the scheme believe that the scheme is real. They truly believe that they have the psychic powers, and they cannot be convinced otherwise.
So they learn how to run a scam,
yeah,
and then believe their own bullshit.
Correct.
Well, that's fantastic. You and I need to have a conversation about this another time.
Yeah.
That you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. But for now, I got beer to drink. So I will see you another time. I just wanted to get on here and tell everybody that Travis is a cunt and he needs to stop whining.
Thanks, Evan.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, Kevin, life's positive. If I'm confusing you for somebody else that said something worse than the chat, then or another on the regular page, not the chat. My apologies. Are you saying you joined the cult because you were like wanted to be in the cult, or you?
No, I did it on
education
as part of my thesis.
Wow.
I did it. So I did types of research that were like in-person experiential research, right? So after 6 months of going through, because it's all meditation techniques, right? So after 6 months, I would go through the meditation techniques. I would keep going. I would push myself. And I actually started being able to conjure up very, very vivid imagery through the meditations. And that's what people are experiencing. They just mistake it for something that's real when it certainly is not anything real. Like I was able to mentally project myself into outer space, right? But it's just the power of meditation. It's not real. It's just what happens.
Can I say something, Uncle
Sure.
John? I'm going to have to fire you.
Uh-oh.
This is you're about to cross the 200 mark for super chats.
Do we have to reorganize our deal?
You did almost 300. I mean, you are making too much money on my channel. I
am open to reevaluating our relationship, Gary.
Wow, you are crushing it, bro.
We do have multiple super chats that just came in. Daniel Yurk with another $5. He says, Evan is why I started training 12-ounce curls. PR man can coming up. It works, getting massive. We also have Greg Lovelace at $10. I heard Travis bashing his little audience. I know that's his ego, but what do you think about him saying that unless you pull professionally? You can't get a fan of the sport. That includes you guys. Maybe I'm reading that incorrectly, but Travis, I think Travis can do what Travis wants to do. He's proved what he needs to prove as a puller in the sport. And I think he makes enough money to not seriously pull anymore. And he doesn't really want to train. And so he just kind of moves along that way. Herpes Asperini with $20. He says, I want Urich to call in. Daniel Urich, he's the man.
The tree faller.
The tree faller. Yeah, he won my ARMPR competition because he did the PR lift with a freaking chainsaw. Amazing.
What? Oh,
yeah, he did it with the blade too.
Yeah, he was like, he had the chainsaw chain around his arm attached to the chainsaw, and he did the lift. Like, I don't know how much a chainsaw weighs, but I mean, it was a chainsaw. Amazing.
Yeah, he lifted it with the blade, so it don't matter how much it weighs. Golly.
Yeah, very impressive.
That's yeah, that's very tough shit right there.
I
gotta say before I jump off of here, Gary, if this was a real match with you and Barry, I think you straight up got it into his head. Conor McGregor'd him 110%. Friday night, you got him. You if it was a chess match, you checkmated that motherfucker, dog.
Yeah,
I like Barry Bourne. I got to know him over the weekend. He's a good dude. Hopefully I get to train with him since he doesn't live too far from me. So hopefully we get to pool and stuff. But if it was a real fight and it was set in a venue and y'all did your little press conference and all that and the face off, you Conor McGregor'd him, bro. You got in his head.
I mean, that's what multiple people told me.
And I don't know if he
you rattled him. I'm like, listen, man, I'm not.
I don't know if he did the same to you early on.
I don't have a ton of skill
to get you so riled up. But
yeah, I can get. I mean,
Right
listen,
back.
I'm not gonna. I shared a couple of his text messages, but there was a day he blew my phone up multiple times. I'm like, I don't even know what to say to this guy's. But then he'd call and apologize, and he's like, I was cleaning up my mold, and it kind of I went, woohoo. Here's the deal. Kind of like Barry Bourne.
I like him too. He's a cool dude.
I just was upset that I didn't get the fight that I wanted and that he said he would give. All right. Julian, thank you very much for filming us. And I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Gary. I'm gonna deuce out of here. Y'all take care. Have a good night. I'll keep watching.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Oh, it's just back to me and you, buddy.
So I'm done with boxing. I can be friends with Barry Bourne. I felt like his price at the video went hard on him and Travis, and it was like I just was so caught up in I do not want to be accused of promoting something that wasn't going to happen. Like,
yeah,
I mean, so
well, especially it probably wouldn't have been so close on your mind if the Travis and Michael thing hadn't happened the night before.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyways, I don't want to be Conor McGregor, so I'm going to stick out of that business. But, I want to say something before I ask you to change the subject. Basically, the last time I went to Waxahachie, I felt the seminar was the star and the arm wrestling was just kind of like
the bonus.
It was like, and I was like, hey, if I'm going to be involved, I need to do something more special. So Travis is like, we can do your format. And to be honest, I don't know really much what happened with the seminar because I was focused on the arm wrestling only. That was what I was there for. And I got a lot of positive feedback from it. I'm encouraged that there's something there. I'm going to continue with it. I'd love for Travis and I to, I know a lot of people have deplaned the Travis ship after Friday, but it's like,
well, look, for everyone who is like in the sport for a year or two, it's not like this is the first time Travis has ever done anything like this before, right? Like, it's not super surprising. Don't you agree?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what it's like.
The thing that was surprising to me is that he didn't tell you, and you potentially were going to try to spend $800 extra to get there. That was the only thing that was tripping me up.
I mean, to be honest, I was never going to pay the 800.
Yeah.
When I saw it was 800, I was considering driving 14 hours. I was running that whole thing. But anyways, Gary, he's punking you daily. So here's the thing. He's got more events. I don't know if I'm going to be involved in that, but I do know, here's now what I know that I'm going to do. I'm going to take, let's say when I have $1,000, I'm going to pick a spot that I want to go host a real practice. Probably call the guys locally here. I'm going to say, hey, can we host like a super practice? I want to give $1,000. It was Travis's idea to do a double elimination tournament down to the top 8. What I learned from the time we did those practices where we had like 16 guys, there's such a difference in talent pool from one guy to the other guy that when you have 16 guys, sometimes you do have some matches that are just taking up time.
Sure.
Whereas, by getting it down to the top 8, it caused the guys who are good to meet up a little bit faster in the rotation. And so that increased the excitement level.
Sure.
And so I'm excited to start doing these as one-offs. And if Travis would love to do more events, I would obviously, there's not going to be any boxing. I would obviously continue to do that. But on my own, I will also be doing this super practice. So Kevin is positive. Let's hopefully Kevin is not trolling us by being a real person in the comments and then coming in and doing something bizarre like that last guy. Let's see what.
Rolling the dice. As he's coming in, Greg Lovelace with maybe a transition that we'll take in a minute here, $10. He says, I'm new here. You guys may have already said, but what's the prediction as of right now between Devon and Todd? We will get back to that once we talk to Kevin's life positive here. And thank you guys so much for being here. We've had like almost 200 people throughout the last hour. So the show is growing. It's an amazing thing. Thank you all. And thank you so much for the super chats as well.
Kevin.
Hey, thanks, Gary and John. I just want to come on and tell you that, I don't hate you, brother. I'm, former Marine myself, and I'm the guy in the comments from earlier telling you, I just want you to be able to read the room, man. I think.
Okay, you did give me a semi-positive comment. My bad. I was unable to read the room, I guess. I was too fired up.
Well, because it's easy to get fired up, man. That's understandable. I mean, you went in there ready for a fight. Yeah. But, my thing is, I just hated to watch it kind of go downhill. It's like everybody that was in the room was kind of looking at you like, they didn't want any part of it. And I was like, man, this sucks, because I got friends just like you, man. I think you would make an awesome friend to be around, but I don't want people, I hate to see you, they're kind of like the guy that, everybody likes, but nobody, really depends on. I want you to be the guy that they can say, this is my guy, and Travis can introduce you to all those money people.
I agree. Let's close the book.
But the ROTN format was a pretty awesome format, though.
Thank you.
And I do recall, I felt like that was more your idea than Travis's. I think you actually came up with it on the show.
No, that was
100%.
Yeah, it was my idea. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The guys in the chat want to talk Bowen and Lachlan. To be honest, I saw something, but I was too busy with doing things that I couldn't quite figure out what the story was.
You want me to catch you up real quick?
Catch me up.
All right. So here's the deal. There is a battle for the top 4 places in all of Australia. You got a guy named the Milkman, Ryan Scott, I think is his name, Ben Carroll, Lachlan Adair, Ryan Bowen. The Milkman ranked number 1. It was supposed to be Lachlan Adair versus the Milkman. Now, this was all happening this weekend. The deal was Ryan Bowen flies to the Milkman. He gets in. Lachlan Adair flies there as well later in that same day. And in that period of time, the premier for that part of Australia, or the whole I don't know how it works there, he says anybody flying into this area has to quarantine for 2 weeks while Lachlan is in the air. Okay, so Lachlan gets off the plane. Bowen had just got off the plane several hours earlier, no problem at all. Lachlan gets off the plane. He has to do a COVID test, and then they tell him, sorry, you can't do anything for 2 weeks. So the match is off, and it was supposed to be Lachlan versus Milkman for the first in Australia. So what happens is Ryan Bowen steps in and takes the match that was supposed to be Lachlan's match. Lachlan did give the okay. Lachlan was super pissed, but obviously you want to have a match. And Ryan Bowen won, I think 3-1. So technically Ryan Bowen takes spot number 1 in Australia, but realistically he still has to kind of go through Lachlan and Ben. So right now everybody's talking about how is this going to work? Should it be Ben Carroll and Lachlan Adair versus each other, and then the winner goes to Ryan, or should it be Ryan Lachlan right away, or how does it all work out? And that's kind of where we're at with the whole situation.
And Ryan kind of went the humble route, even though he's technically number 1 in Australia. He said, he doesn't even want to take the title, which is kind of crazy because that's like Ryan's number 1 dream.
Yeah. So Ryan Bowen looked really, really good, but a lot of people have said that the Milkman possibly, like even Lachlan and Ryan Bowen have said the Milkman probably not at his peak. He probably wasn't prepared. And if Lachlan would have been there for the match, Lachlan probably would have beat him worse than Ryan did.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan can't beat Lachlan, right? So clearly we already know what would have happened.
Yeah. So, somebody in the chat just mentioned Marcus Atirai. So Marcus is up there too. I don't know if he's like number 5 on the list. I'm not exactly sure. But my guess is that one way or another, if I had to guess just based on what I've seen from these guys, by the time it's said and done, Lachlan will be number 1, Bowen will be number 2, and then Ben Carroll will be 3, unless somebody else can kind of rise up and do something major. But there are like other threats in Australia, but I don't know if they can put together the power. Like Marcus Atirai, massively powerful human, but I don't think he's at the same arm wrestling level as Ryan Bowen and Lachlan Adair, from what I've seen.
Wow. Crazy. So Ryan Bowen doesn't have to quarantine?
He didn't, because his plane landed before the announcement by the premier was made. So while Lachlan was in the air, the premier says, now you got to take a test. We're clamping down. So right then and there, Ryan was already there in Western Australia. He's fine to do whatever. Only arriving several hours earlier, Lachlan gets screwed. Terrible situation.
Wow, that's crazy.
I unmuted.
You're we can hear you now, Daniel.
What's up, Daniel?
We
How's
muted
it going?
Well, we muted you while you were still fiddling with your phone. It makes too much noise.
Sorry.
What's up, man? What's
I'm just hanging out. Gonna weigh in on tell Travis fixes what he did to us on Friday night. We don't even have to have this conversation. That was pretty messed up. We had big plans, so I wouldn't feel too bad at all. I mean, I kind of agree on the venue. That makes sense, but you were passionate about making something happen, especially when you heard that happen. You're like, I got it. Because to me, on my end, that whole weekend was a freaking flop as far as that event went. But you posting that video, just tearing into everybody. I got respect for you. I mean, you were trying to not let us down, and you were fighting.
Why was the rest of the event a flop?
Well, it just seemed like videos came out later. Like I stayed up all of was it Thursday night smoking meat for 30 hours. I had an arm bet match. We're all going to sit down and eat and watch the event. And 7 minutes later, the feed stopped, and then I realized it was a prank. I was pissed off, really pissed off.
Yeah, but the event Saturday night and Sunday wasn't a flop. That was pretty good.
No, yeah. But as far as if they were, I knew they weren't going to go right-handed. I figured at least they give us a little bit on the left, something. And then we had the event on Saturday, which was about the only thing that still happened. And then we were looking forward for you to pull it back together for the Friday night, and then that didn't go through. And I was like,
my apologies. Anyone hanging on and they saw me get rattled there by Bagent, I'm sorry.
Look, I don't think
I was trying to hold it in. I was like, dude, you are not gonna crack. Don't crack on the internet. Don't crack. Because I was telling myself not to crack, I felt it, and I was like, oh man, don't do it. Man. Don't do it. You're gonna be embarrassed. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, I'm sorry about it. I got my composure back together. I'm tough again.
By the way, I wanted to mention Daniel Urich is our hammer holder leader for #1 in super chats tonight. Amazing. Legendary Daniel Urich. And a lot of people agreeing with Daniel about, other people being upset, especially people from Europe. They're like, look, this was like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning for us. And we're waiting and we were up until 4, like Craigie Vicklin from SATV. He was like, man, this is going to be so late, but I got to stay up because I want to do a video about it. And you get that. For me, it was fine because I went live immediately afterwards and we had a whole session just about what had happened.
Yeah, I was talking crap on that one too.
Yeah. And it was pretty good. It was pretty fun. There was a lot of people on both sides, people that said, well, this is what it is. Other people were really, really, really pissed.
Shout out to Herpes, by the way. Support me and pushing on me and support me. We're blowing this thing up.
You guys are amazing.
Come on. Arm wrestling.
We love it.
Uncle John, I hope that you told me something before the internet or before we went live tonight. Mm-hmm. Is that a secret or can you hint what you did?
Oh, about the interview?
Yeah. Can you talk about that or no?
Yeah, I can talk about it. Yeah.
What happened?
So earlier today, I had a surprise interview, somewhat of a surprise. I knew about it yesterday. And you guys know that I do a lot of work with Cobra. And Cobra calls me up and he's like, hey, yo, that's a Travis voice, not a Cobra voice. I don't know how to do a Cobra voice. He says, we got an interview tomorrow. I'm like, oh yeah, what are we doing? Who are we doing? And you know, Cobra knows everyone, so you never know. And he says, we are interviewing Kirill and Igor from PAL.
Wow.
And if you've been following arm wrestling, you know that Igor is obviously the operator of PAL. Igor has been in the hot seat as of late because of the Michael Todd and Levin issues. So I talked to Igor and Kirill. Kirill is like the right-hand man to Igor. He's part of the PAL. I don't remember his exact title, but we had a 2-hour discussion and we talked about WAF. We talked about the Olympics. We talked about the IFA. We talked about Levin. We talked about Michael. We talked about Devon. And so all of this stuff is going to be coming out on Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show and Cobra's channel over the next couple of weeks. And on top of that, Igor and Kirill want to kind of connect, I think, a little bit more with the North American audience. So it sounds like this might be a semi-regular thing, like once or twice a month. And we talk about different topics.
Gary, would that be an opportunity for you to introduce some of them into your ROTN format? Maybe get some Europeans in the mix for another event?
I mean, I don't think my prize money is going to be awesome enough to get someone on a plane. But I mean, here's the deal. I'm going to start small and I'm going to expand. Last time, we had, Roman Cindliani, John Blue got on an airplane, came over. You never know. But does Igor have he speaks good English? Is it
Igor? This is the first time I ever talked to Igor or Kirill. Igor can speak a bit of English. He understands English fairly well. But then Kirill usually is the one who kind of translates Igor's more, technical answers, right? So there is a bit of a language barrier, but that's another point of why I want to keep having these conversations, because I think a lot of the problems and issues that occurred with like the Levin Michael thing might have been language and culture issues that somehow were misrepresented. Maybe not all of it, but certainly part of it, just because there is that added layer. People are asking me to answer Greg Lovelace's question here. He had a $10 super chat. Greg Lovelace, thank you so much. You're champion tonight. He says, how much money does it take to get an answer? I'm curious, Devon and Todd, what's the opinion on Devon and Todd match? And could you analyze it a little? Much appreciated. You guys want to do that right now?
I just would like to say we have gone over that in past shows. So
well, he's super chatting it. He's super chatting.
Right. But I'm just saying we haven't completely ignored that subject since it came out. If you watched last week, Greg, you'd be in. So keep watching every week so you do not miss content. Okay. I have a question before you start that.
Okay.
Artem, did you watch the Arm Wrestling Michael Todd?
Yes.
So people in the comments were like, ooh, can you read anything off of that?
Come on.
No.
I
mean, obviously Michael Todd was giving him everything.
No.
So, like Michael Todd wasn't fired up.
Let me tell you, anyone who thinks that Artem Taranenko, a very good arm wrestler, there is an insane difference between Artem Taranenko and Monster Michael Todd.
Michael did say, though, that he gave him some interesting lanes and angles, though.
Sure.
Give him that.
But I would bet I would bet my life on Michael Todd in that match.
No, of course. That's not.
Yeah, Easton, go ahead.
That's not what we're saying. We're saying when Michael Todd was here and Artem was getting in all his things.
That's because Artem's a real arm wrestler.
People were saying it showed a little bit of concern that Michael Todd did have to fight a little bit right there.
Get out of here.
No,
Get out of here.
I don't think as far as that.
And I just was reading comments, just putting it out.
I'm talking to them. I'm talking to those people.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like Michael's just there and having a good time. He's getting paid. He's going to grip up with people. Michael is making a very concerted effort to give other YouTubers a bit of a pat on the back, right? In that video, he was doing stuff with Artem, doing stuff with Chance, doing stuff with Jody Williams, you know, a lot of different things. I'm not saying that, you know, Michael Todd is just sandbagging and making Artem look good. Artem is a good arm wrestler. But when Corey West hits Michael and Corey West goes, boom, and Michael just goes, Rrr. People don't understand how strong Corey West is. Corey West is just a couple notches down, but he's an animal. He's a freak. And Corey West would destroy Artem, right? And Michael will beat Corey West.
Even though Michael's getting a lot more popular in the comment section, I see a lot of people still hang on to every, like if he breathes hard during a match, he almost lost it. You know, if he leans back a little bit, that's a king's move. You know, he's still got a lot of that to get over.
Yeah. And a lot of people, so here's my theory, and people may not like this, but way too many people, this has been said a million times, but way too many people putting way too much interest and effort into understanding the level of an arm wrestler during a non-tournament pull. It does not matter. When I pull on a practice table, I lose 99% of the time because my slow pulling is atrocious. It is atrocious. And so what happens is people are like, oh, Uncle John, he's losing a step. He's not very good anymore. And then what happens? The tournament comes around and then it's not a problem because there's so much more that goes into it. And my biggest desire is for people to go past the surface area of arm wrestling. There's so much just underneath that, just underneath it. That's where you need to go. That's it. That's where you need to be. Don't get out of here with this practice pulling nonsense. It's garbage can logic.
Matt has comment about Hermes world
also,
champ on the practice table.
I think, Michael Todd, arm wrestling people, like you said, given other creating that discussion, I think is only good for all the channels. Like, I feel like Michael Todd's path. I had a conversation with Michael and Rebecca, and you know, it's tough to try to be the best in the world for forever. And it's like, how long can Michael do that? Wouldn't it be great if Michael Todd and his wife could make a living on YouTube, traveling around, doing practices, creating content, but not having that pressure of needing to be the best in the world? It's like
amazing.
For long-term goals, it does make a lot of sense to just have fun on YouTube and not necessarily need to be at peak. And you know, I'm hoping that they can make that work and have the pressure taken off after his Devon and Michael match. At some point, he's going to want to the guy loves training. So of course he will always continue doing that. But if you could just say, hey man, I travel, I arm wrestle, I have a good time with people making content. This is an amazing lifestyle. And you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I feel like that's a long, more sustainable path than needing to be the winner, the best, you know, and all.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if that's where we go. That may be where we go. But let's transition back. I don't want to forget about Greg's question because he's amazing super chatter.
He has a second question.
Okay.
I've highlighted it. He's 27 years old. He's a little into the sport. And so after you answer that question, we're going to go into the second one because he's a new guy. And so I want to give him some love and go back to the second one. So,
all right, Greg, the next section of this show is all for you, buddy. So his first thing was, can we analyze Devon and Todd a bit and talk about some of our opinions? Very difficult right now. Very difficult because it's been so long since we've seen these guys in real action. We can see Michael all we want up in Dubai. Doesn't matter. We can see Devon eating all the pancakes we want. Doesn't really matter. Right now, based on what we do know, is Devon was injured. Devon had some issues, some health issues. He has severely downplayed those now, feeling good. He's on the path. The last couple videos he's put out, is like, guys, don't worry. I feel great. I will get massive. That has been the message that he is putting out there. I believe him. I believe that he will train and do everything he can. Michael has showed us that that is exactly what he's doing over and over and over again. And he has been on top of it. He just shows us everything, right? We know the guy trains like a tank. We know what he can do. We haven't seen him on the table in a long time, but right now at this point, I have to go with Michael. Chance Shaw made the prediction of 3-0 for Michael. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I would still say 3-2 Michael, because Devon is a sneaky bastard. He is sneaky. And just as much as Michael hates to lose, Devon is right there with him. Devon is not going here to lose. Devon is going to do everything in his power to win, because I think he's still a little messed up from the last loss he took from Michael. Honestly, I think he is. The way he talks about it, I think it hurts him. And I think it's going to be a great clash. It will be very interesting as we get closer to see where exactly Devon goes, right? He was like 245, 246 lately. If he gets up there, I don't know if he said in his latest video that weight doesn't really matter, because he was 245 when he beat Michael the first time. He was 265 when he lost to Michael. So the real question is where will Devon be in 2 months? I think Michael will be slightly better than where he is now, but he's been so freaking consistent with everything he's been doing. I don't know how much he's going to peak out. Now, it'll be interesting to see how big everybody's face is on Desperation Day, May 29th. Right now, I go Michael 3-2, but I am really waiting to just see the evolution of Devon Larritt over the next couple months.
Well, Michael got his leg fixed here recently, so now he can hit it a little bit harder. He's saying that was kind of holding back at the same time. But also, Devon, I think, is obviously he's hungry for it, and he's eating everything in sight. And that's how hungry he is. So it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a battle. I think it's going to be something that the anticipation is going to be well worth once they get fighting there. You know, I can't. Devon's looking. I'm starting to kind of see more of a. It's going to be pretty. It's going to be a match.
Uncle John, are you familiar with Mean Machine?
I know that he's a longtime supporter and often super chatter.
Oh, okay, damn. I was gonna let him in. I'm so nervous about that last guy. Right. Mean Machine, if you want to come back in, please re-enter. My apologies.
Herpes Asperini had a good question. He says, what rule set? I don't think we know yet. I don't believe they've officially told us exactly what rule set they're going to be using.
They seem to be leaning Arm Wars a lot.
I would like to say something else about the Devon Michael Todd match.
Go for it.
For me, it's less about winning or losing, who it is. The bigger story that day is the format, the platform, the release of that match is a big test towards the future of arm wrestling. Can the revenue stream and of how these matches are funded and the return on investment, whether it's worth it for people, it 100% is going to be dependent on the future of that, is going to be dependent on us. How many of us viewers like, share, and subscribe and stream that and pay I'm not sure what the price point is, but whatever the price point is, the pay-per-view. If you want arm wrestling to blow up, if you have dreams, you want it to go to whatever destination, and you don't log in, subscribe, and watch that day, it's like you can't complain. It's like,
right. It's the biggest match in the last year and a half.
Like,
I think all the collaborations are really going to pay off on that day, as far as how Mike's going off into the strength training world, bringing a lot of those people in. You got the PR, the whole thing with Larry, all of his collaborations that he's doing. They're all going to see the arm wrestling and come in. I think the collaborations that are happening right now are going to build up to a massive, massive take home for that match when it comes in. Like you said, Gary, that's going to be kind of a change of direction for the sport. And I think WAL is, jumping on board, which is awesome. And I'm curious to see what Uncle John's interview with PAL kind of has to say about what direction they think it's going to go.
Yeah. If you want, like, it could be the greatest opportunity as a point of unification for us, is like to focus all of our powers and energies to prove to people, okay, this works. This could be a way. And we want it to succeed. So
Gary, can you put your mic closer to your face?
So we want the guys to get paid, the best guys to get paid. And up till now, I mean, we've had pay-per-views in the past, but not like that potentially could be this. So that day we got to all come together.
I agree.
Come together right now.
So Gary, on I think it was Greg's question, who do you have as of today? I know it could change any day, but who do you have today for the match?
Oh man, that's so hard.
Before you do, I gotta hop off.
Daniel.
Thanks, Daniel. You're a legend, buddy.
400. I gotta get back to training. I'm to get my butt whipped.
Thanks, brother.
Good night.
I love it,
I'll
brother.
be back in the chat. I'm
Take
gonna
it
go talk some more crap.
Oh yeah.
Be easy, buddy.
Gary, while you're computing, Greg Lovelace with another $10 super chat says, thanks for the answer. I hope the candy, chips, and junk for Devon is all trolling. I agree with a lot of what you said. I'm excited as far as two different mindsets of training come together. It's curiosity, indeed.
Man, who do I pick? How do you pick?
It's tough right now. It's tough.
Honestly, I think it's a toss-up, guys. Really.
Yeah.
Can't write either one of them off.
I heard, well, I saw on Facebook the other day in one of the training groups, a guy was talking about why doesn't Devon train with somebody with King's Move? And if you've watched the last video, he had Sylvain Perron at the last practice he was at. And I tell the guy, I'm like, well, yeah, he did. That's why he had Sylvain and they were training. Well, Sylvain cannot match Michael's pronation. I don't think anybody can. And nobody can emulate his style. And a lot of people forget that he can use the King's Move offensively as well on the hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
gonna good point.
I'm just gonna have to say that I don't know. I can't give it. It could go, like you said, it could go anywhere. I don't know who to pick, man. They could both win. They could both win. Can I get you to answer Mr. Lovelace's other question? He says, I'm 27 years old and I know it's a little late. Is it really?
No, I started at 27.
But he 2 years in. I'm 31.
Yeah.
He says, I thought about getting into arm wrestling. What do you guys think could be a good start in doing so?
Number one, most important thing, find a club. Go on ArmBet, find anyone. Even if you can't find a club, just find another dude that's interested in it. Find a table to do it on. And so find the people. If you can find people that know what they're doing, listen to everything they say about safety, all that stuff. If you're starting without a master, like someone who knows a lot more than you and your buddies do, then really go and find some videos like on Voice of Arm Wrestling or something like that that tell you about the safety stuff first. Then get in there and just start ripping.
Oh, dude, I got some bad news, and I hope this doesn't discourage you, sir. But I've been meaning to do a shout out to Mac Rodriguez. We did have an injury this past weekend. Man,
broken arm.
I hate it. Broken left arm. He's been arm wrestling since December. He's on the team with John Byerly out of Texas, Corpus Christi. And they're all fired up, but he's new. Big guy. You know, December, the key to having longevity is the sport, is what I call seasoning your arm.
Especially your elbow.
It needs to be broken in. It's like going hard on it really fast. It is a risk. So just be safe. Keep yourself in safe positions and just build into it slowly. It's hard not to fight. We know. I know. Anyways, be safe.
To the age thing though, don't even worry about it. Like Mazel mentioned in the chat, Todd Hutchings was 35 when he started arm wrestling. And now he's one of the best, consistently best pound for pound guys on the planet, as far as I'm concerned.
Lawrence Grundy says, any word on how he's doing? I messaged him earlier today. He just left the doctors a few hours earlier. He does have a spiral fracture. They said it's set in a way that they are going to attempt to let it heal naturally without surgery. So that's what he's hoping for. And his other teammate says today he was feeling better. So heart goes out to you. Those guys drove 6 hours. They're fired up. Man, you hate to see a weekend end like that, but you know.
Well, it's you see it, and it's part of arm wrestling, right? I think it'll be interesting once everything opens up again, and we've got so much more interest in the sport over this last year. It'll be interesting to see what happens, and we might, like, as content creators, want to all do some more like safety videos just to get it out there, because people are excited and people want to rip. And we got new guys that come to our practice every week and they're like, boom, you know, they want to get in there and rip as hard as they possibly can. And I'm just like, you know, I'm just giving it to them because I'm like, oh, good Lord almighty. And these guys are really, really strong, right? So you got a strong guy. He's confident. But if I put on little tiny bit of back pressure, that thing is going to fly into a million pieces, right?
And we were watching him. I don't, from my memory, it didn't look like a bad position. You know, sometimes power. Anyways, we don't mean to be discouraging. Just be safe.
Yeah.
Start slowly.
Yeah.
I started arm wrestling for joking in 2004. And I just started arm wrestling a little bit. And in 2 years, I was like, oh, I can arm wrestle. Who knew? But is it okay? Let me ask you something. I was listening to Derek video in Dubai where he's like, I encourage all my guys to go and hook first. I always felt like top rolling was slightly safer because going in hook is it? I always told people, new people, top roll first. That's the safest. Is that good advice?
Well, it depends, right? So there's a difference between going into a hook this way and going into a hook this way, right? A fully supinated hook where all the pressure is coming through the bottom of your elbow like this, probably not the best way to go. But if it's like a high hook and you're here, then that pressure isn't so crazy down here, right? And then you can worry about dragging a little bit more. I could see how that is okay and that's safer, but I would never be working on that supinating hit like really fast inside. That's a disaster.
You have to leave yourself more places to naturally open up. So like that's what you hear Michael Todd talking a lot about, having the bicep open up. Because if you put yourself in a position where it's bone on bone, like you know, Devon talks about testing your frame, you know, if you don't have a way to bend naturally, then it's going to bend another way.
Well, yeah, because even when you're like, say you're going high and you're knifing in, you're still putting all the pressure up here at the end of the fulcrum, and it's putting all that pressure down here still. Because when I do like a high hook, even though it's more of a like a down pressure move for me, because my forearm's not that long, I still get it right on the back of the elbow.
Yeah. And that's part of the deal. Matthias Bedard, I've seen you all over the place lately. What's your deal, man?
How's it going, man? I honestly, I didn't think you guys would let me in.
Well, you know.
This is what we do.
Powerful. So powerful.
So, Matthias.
Powerful.
Matthias?
Matthias, yeah.
Matthias,
yeah.
Tell me your deal, because I see you all over with your goofy picture. You know.
Yeah, no, I just got into arm wrestling really recently. You guys are talking about people getting in old. I'm almost 37. And well, the only reason that I got into it is because I met Devon. He lives just down the road.
Nice.
What? Yeah. Hold on. You just got into arm wrestling and your neighbor is Devon Larritt.
Talk about lucky.
Oh my God. Can we get an amen to the luckiest dude in arm wrestling right here? Oh my God. Let me just tell you, if Gary Roberts lived next to Devon Larritt, ARMTV would have 1 million subs.
1 billion. 1 billion.
Oh my God. I would be like, Live stream 7 a.m. right outside Devon Larritt's house. I'm looking through the window. It looks like they're cooking eggs and pancakes.
Yeah, just paparazzi the heck out of him, eh?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, he would be like, stalker police.
Could you imagine him standing at the door at 2 a.m.? What the fuck are you doing behind my bushes?
So
he did scare the crap out of me once. I was in the kitchen doing some dishes, and he just started smacking on the window. Almost gave me a heart attack.
What? Oh, you guys are that is awesome. Well, listen, if there's anyone who's going to learn how to arm wrestle in a relatively quick speed, it's anyone who gets to hang out with Devon Larritt. Congratulations.
I hope so. I don't know. I've been doing it for a couple of months. I still feel like I really suck, but I guess it all depends who you're comparing yourself to, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, most people do suck, when they start, for sure.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Like I'm terrible. Like atrociously bad. Like super bad.
How did you find the sport?
So I was actually working on a startup like forever ago, and we did a bunch of location-based stuff. And I just came across a random video on YouTube of Devon talking about ARMBet. And I was like, oh yeah, we did some location-based stuff before. This looks interesting. So I installed the app, and then within like 20 minutes, I think it was like 2 a.m. in the morning, I get a message from Devon. He's like, who the heck are you? And I'm like, I don't know, just some dude.
What?
Yeah. And then anyways, we started hanging out, and we became friends over the last little bit. And yeah, he's a good dude.
That's awesome, dude.
Oh my God.
The good thing about that too is you're getting the experience right off the bat of pulling really good pullers. Like my little group here in my town, we're all at around the 2-year mark. So like the first time that we went up north and practiced with Alpha Arms, and we were pulling guys like Aaron Duncan, Joey Melendez, Ferris Durek, you're like, what is going on here? Like, oh my God. Like somebody with really double thick hands that make you just super uncomfortable in the setup.
I mean, imagine how, if you're Devon Larritt and you create this app, and then one day like it pops up and like your neighbor's like downloading the app, and you find out it's completely unrelated. That is wild, bro. You're like, I would say, what? Who are you? Like, that's kind of cool. I got to be honest. That's a really cool story. Next time you're with Devon Larritt, tell him I said, hey, how you doing? Gary Roberts, ARMTV. Can you give us any insight? Are you picking Devon? Are you team Devon? Are you
Why?
team
I kind of have to, right? I'm pro pancake diet, man. That's all me.
Yeah. Awesome.
You don't get a body like this eating vegetables, Like I'm on the pancake team.
Well, that's awesome. Hey guys, I hate to cut our show short, but I got a giddy.
Yeah, I understand, man. We have been going for several hours now.
I've enjoyed streaming with y'all, and but we had some hiccups earlier in the show, but I appreciate everyone seems supportive in the chat. Thank you very much. Thanks again for Mazel Jador.
100%. Thank you all so much for the super chats and for hanging out and maintaining 150 people or more this whole time. Amazing.
Adam, Western
so powerful.
Survivor. Hey, you're in Canada. Get yourself some Western Survivor.
Look at that.
Can you get that in Canada?
Yeah,
sure
he's Canadian.
So if I get some of that and I feed it to Devon, you think he's not going to be so weak anymore?
He's already got it. He's already got some.
It'll go with the pancakes nicely.
Yeah.
So he's okay. He's already got some. All right, right on. Send me some then. Send some to me.
All right. Hey guys, thank you very much. Derek, tell Gary to stay. What were you coming on?
Derek, get in here, Derek. We'll stay on for an extra 5 minutes for Derek.
Yeah.
Oh, Super Shredder in the house.
Super Shredder, Derek.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I like my marriage.
Well, both you guys, Mean Machine and Matthias, I'm happy to see you guys in the flesh, because it's hard because I see you guys chatting and like I see the little profile and you support and everything. It's just nice. I like that.
I'm glad you and John talked about that, because I was having trouble with the Zoom messages. It wouldn't let me send them.
Can I say something? I mean, I know it's stupid to even ask that, but when I got back into the sport, one of the things that we had with ARMTV back in the day and the Northeast board is there was a community feeling. And when I wanted to open up the chat to bring other people in, this is exactly what I wanted, is an opportunity, because I'm not traveling as much. I haven't hit as much tournaments, and it's harder to meet the new guys. And this was a way. And I'm just want to say shout out that this worked, getting to meet people, hear these cool stories, new arm wrestlers, bringing a community sense back together. Wouldn't you say, Derek? I mean, Uncle John?
Yeah, this is perfect. This is beautiful. Derek was looking for the chat link. Everybody, the chat link is in the description. So you just click that baby and you're off. You're off. And there he is.
Derek Smith.
Unmute, my friend. Unmute. Unmute yourself.
Oh, it's my job to ask him to unmute. There we go.
There we go. Can you hear me now? We're good?
Super Shredder in the house.
What's up, fellas?
Hey,
I know
hey.
you guys are leaving. I know I have a lot of energy and Gary's winding down and I'm coming in up. I know.
I mean, you're welcome to take over the show if I clocked off for the night. Do you want to do that?
Well, I just wanted to catch you for a second before you go, man. You're a lunatic. You know, obviously everybody's been talking. I watched the video, Gary. Wild video. I've never seen that side of you, man. I mean, I've seen you pumped up, but I've never seen that side. That was crazy. Happy that you're safe though and unharmed, and everybody's good to go. You guys been live for a while. I tuned in earlier, went and did a bunch of shit, came back, and you guys are still live. So it's great.
Travis Bagent thinks it was a big ploy for me to not box by being crazy. I mean, I didn't realize that was going to happen. I really did want to box. I mean, I don't know. I apologize.
It's probably already a broken record. I know. I don't want to keep bringing it up. I know you've talked about it a bunch of times already. So
here's the question, though, Derek. The question that I posed to Gary, and Gary poo-pooed it. Can Gary become a entry-level, open-level puller by the end of the year?
No way.
Not a chance.
So where he's winning, like you're saying, he would win the amateur class, and now he's in the open. Is that what you're talking about?
Because he knows how to arm wrestle. He just isn't strong.
Right.
I'm thinking about how old he is. I'm thinking about who he has access to as far as table time, dedication.
What if we get him on the juice? What if we get?
No, I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
You just need some pancakes, man. You need pancakes.
You'd have to make a serious change, though. I just think
When you say open level puller, does he like win any matches? When he
doesn't have to win any matches, but he needs.
Well, anybody could just pay the money and sign up.
He needs to be competitive with the worst guys in the open class.
Well, if you can't win matches, then is it even competitive?
Well, if you're competitive, if you and the other worst guy have a 5-minute long match, you are the worst competitive puller in the open class, right?
No, there is 2 guys that didn't belong in that class.
Why? What if he has good matches with 3 of the guys?
Evan Burgoyne, an elitist. Look at this guy just looking down on everyone. Get off your high horse, Evan. Jeez.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on a real fucking high horse. I'm a fat guy that drinks and smokes. How high of a horse am I?
Here's the thing.
I'm just saying,
Friday,
if you're considering yourself
Evan,
this open level puller,
Evan,
you have to be able to get some win. You may not win a match every time, but you've got to be getting like wins in the.
He's gonna mute you. He's gonna mute you, Evan.
Okay,
He's always fucking gonna mute me.
If you watch that video from Friday night, so Saturday night, I have nothing, not even Barry Bourne, nothing. Just they absolutely control me. But Friday night in a bar with a bunch of college kids who probably, I don't even know if they lift, but I can handle it. It's like that's my level of expertise. I can handle newbies who are college kids, but skilled arm wrestlers who've been training, there's a big and a bigger gap right there. So when you say become an open puller, Uncle John, I believe with training, I could win a few matches in amateurs like I used to do. Open is the stretch.
But didn't you one time make a video that says my last day as an amateur puller? Did you not make that video?
Novice.
Was that novice?
Not Leonard and Denise had open amateur novice classes, and they officially are like, you can't do novice anymore. So then I went to one more novice event. It wasn't their event. It was an Oregon event. And I did pretty well. And I beat a couple really ripped guys. Very proud of myself.
Gary,
but
when you arm wrestle, you know, if you go up against somebody that's never been on a table before, you could just destroy them in the setup. You could take everything and they don't even know what you're doing. You know all of these tricks, yes?
I know them. I don't know if I know how to apply them 100% correctly, but in theory.
How long have you been arm wrestling?
I started arm wrestling in 2004 for a joke, just playing around. Around 2005 or 6, I really started to enter events. And then I entered novice and amateur events from 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
20, 21.
I stopped arm wrestling essentially from 12 to 20.
Okay.
You know a few things. You know,
when you arm wrestle now, do you train at all?
No, I've just been table time when I go to a practice.
How often is that?
Well, I got injured when Devon Larritt came to Chicago. I was going pretty often up until October, but I hurt my hand and I've taken the last 3 months off and it still hurts.
So why would you stop arm wrestling just because your hand hurts?
Who's giving feedback? I'm hearing noises.
I think it's Evan.
Yeah, I've got family that's sitting here having an argument in my living room in front of me.
Okay.
Burgoyne family must be loud.
Here's
Are you
the
the
point.
walkthrough man?
Here's the point. I'm not arm wrestling as much as I used to. When I was going to 2 tournaments a month filming, I was arm wrestling and then practicing in between. So I haven't got to that pace. But again, I have a 1-year-old baby. As soon as my kid's like old enough to like take to the practice with me, I will arm wrestle a lot more because my wife will be like happy that I'm out with my son, you know, bonding time.
Well, it sounds like your problem is like you already know how to arm wrestle. So like if you just lift, like get stronger, like you'll win more matches by default.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. But I'm also trying to edit videos, cook dinner, raise a baby.
Gary, priorities are getting out of amateur, Gary.
I know.
That's the only priority in this life.
Listen, if I go to tournaments and start actually, well, let's face it, I'm going to disappoint a few people to say that I don't see tournaments in my future.
Yeah.
I mean, the days of going and like, I may never go to a nationals or worlds again. I may just go to practice. I may go to Derek's house with 10 grand. Like when I have money, I'm going to call Derek and be like, I got 10 grand to give away. Let's go to the park and let's see if we can give away the money before the police kick us out. And I'm going to advertise for 3 months that we're going to be at that park. And part of the show, you guys say like, oh, Gary creates drama. Yeah. Part of the show is, can I have a tournament, give away 10 grand and have the police break it up because we don't have a permit. And then we have to carry the table to the property across the street. And then just, I mean, crazy for content, arm wrestling. That's what I see my future. As weird as it sounds.
You don't need a permit to arm wrestle in a park, do you?
If you have 1,000 people show up, it could happen.
1,000 people.
If you got 1,000 people, you outnumber the cops, right? So you're good.
And Gary will try to fight the cops. I'll let him fight.
Lies in the city not making money off of it.
I'm just saying, arm wrestling community, challenge me. You subscribe, get all your family to subscribe, get me to 300, 4,000 views a day, and watch what I do with the prize money or the ad revenue money. It's gonna blow your balls off. It's gonna blow your balls off because the things that I have in my mind, here's the deal. Bottom line is, hosting a tournament in some fancy hotel in Vegas is never going to get worldwide attention. Me hosting a big ass tournament in Central Park with no permit and giving away crazy money, and the whole goal and in the posters, can we give away this money before they try to break the party up? That's going to get attention. That's going to get views. That's how I'm going to blow up arm wrestling. So you just go ahead and subscribe to my Patreon. Yeah, bitches.
Yeah,
Well,
bitch.
I'll tell you who else is blowing up arm wrestling. Greg Lovelace with another $10 super chat. He says, I don't know a lot about arm wrestling like you guys, but I will subscribe. And if I do become good at the table, and I'll when I give it a shot, I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll be looking forward to more content and live streams. Greg, amazing. Champion.
The man.
Powerful.
You're the man.
Let's close on that. I gotta go. I told my wife I would not be this long. I love you all. We'll see you next Tuesday. I promise between now and next Tuesday, I'm gonna keep it drama free. All positive.
Anybody want to take the bet? Who wants to take the bet?
All positive.
Hey, are you and Travis good right now?
Oh, you missed the show. You
Rewind, Derek.
Oh my.
You missed the
What happened?
show.
You cracked off? Did Travis come in?
No, dude, you got to rewind.
Phone call.
Cheers.
You got to.
Oh,
Is,
my-
You
is there a
got.
Travis versus Gary boxing match coming up?
Listen. Derek,
What?
just when we click off, just rewind it till about
How long ago?
8
Like
o'clock.
halfway ish.
Just rewinds. I got him on the phone.
About an hour ago.
I don't even want to repeat what happened.
Oh,
Hour and a
shit.
half.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, real bad.
Oh.
Guys, I gotta go.
Thanks everybody in the chat. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support.
That's awesome.
Hey, John, before we move on,
stream here, eh?
Call me, Evan. Call me after.
before we move on to anything, if I push this button,
No.
You're mute. You muted yourself.
Muted.
okay, so well, that button doesn't work on like any other program that I would use.
Okay.
Huh.
I gotta go. Bye bye.
See you later, everybody.
ARMTV
See you later, bud.
Nation.
Powerful.